Before we get started, I just want to let you know this video is sponsored by the lovely people over at Surfshark VPN. Because of Black Friday, they're offering you 84% off with 4 extra months for free, so use the promo code JackHoward. I'll leave the link in the description. I've decided to go full YouTuber and make a Q&A video, but you know how people do AMAs? I've decided I'm going to do AMA YB WWM. Ask me anything you bloody well want, mate. And while we wait for the questions to roll in, I've realised that the last couple of videos I made are really heavily scripted and took a lot out of me, but I feel like I just wanted to have a chat with you and reconnect, you know? Shoot the shit. Conatron has asked, where'd you get that hat? The hat is my housemate's, and I nicked it from him, borrowed. I will give it back, but I'm going to have to get one just like it. I don't know what it is about the long hair, but I think it kind of works better. I've never been a baseball hat guy. I've never been a hat person. This is all very new for me. It's new territory, but I like it. I will admit as well, I quite like that it gives me a sort of director look, especially when I'm wearing my coat. I'll show you. You see what I mean? There's something about the coat and the hat combo, and if I've got a little takeaway cup of coffee as well, that sort of completes the whole look. My friend Josh also recently got me this hat.
Good for you, son.
Which I absolutely love. And he obviously got one for himself as well, so we match. I wonder if I can show you what this looks like without you seeing my hat hair. Oh, seamless. I love them both. I'm becoming a hat person. What is your writing process and how the hell do you begin to piece together an idea? Well, Trash Maestro, I don't really have a writing process. I know that I work better with other people. Even if I'm not working with a writing partner, it's good to just find somebody that I trust and just talk aloud about it for a little bit. Just get it out of my head. Because sometimes I find that I can't see the wood for the trees. I get too close to the idea that I can't even see what it's about anymore. But honestly, there's no rules to any of this stuff. So if there's something that helps you get somewhere better creatively, follow it. Do that. You feeling okay? Aw, thanks, Callum. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I will be honest, at the start of this year, before any of this shit happened, I was probably in the worst place I've ever been in, and that was continuing through up until summer of this year. I feel a lot better in myself, taking care of my mental health. I've done the work, you know? But actually, I feel like I have, and I feel like I've just found a rhythm that works for me, and I feel like I know myself better, and it's a constant journey, you know, all the cliches, but I feel like I'm ending the year in a much stronger place than where I started, despite all this shit. Do you feel your career is moving at a steady momentum since university, even in the paralysing COVID times? It was weird because I walked straight out of university and I made a thing called Project Library, and this is going back now, 2013, so 7 years ago. Yeah, I've got the posters. I need to put these up. Little baby me, Mr. Tim H over here. And if anyone's watched, God, it's bloody light. If anyone's watched the new series of Taskmaster, that's Moan there. And then I went and worked for Radio 1 for a little bit, and we made Jack and Dean of All Trades. And it felt like we were climbing this ladder, and it was never going to end. And then, boom, it just plateaued. I had moments when I was like, maybe I'm not meant to do this. I just think there are peaks and troughs, but I've been very, very lucky, especially this year. I have a weird guilt about it because it's just been such a universally shit year for everybody. I've kind of been all right. I feel like I've progressed this year. I know I shouldn't feel guilty because I should take the opportunities when they come, but I don't know, it's a weird, complicated one. No context, just scream. No. Don't tell me what to do. When was the last time you saw Dean? I keep getting the same question. What happened to Jack and Dean? Where's Jack and Dean? Like we aren't in a pandemic. I was on the phone to Dean this afternoon. Nothing's happened to Jack and Dean. We're fine. We want to make more stuff. We're going to make more stuff. It's just not safe to, because we're in a Have you got any scripted projects in the pipeline currently? Yes, I do. Me and my friend Andrea Valls, who you might recognise, she played Emma in Jack and Dean of All Trades. She's also in a show called Waffle the Wonder Dog, which is a kids show here in the UK. We've developed an idea together, and the script has been optioned by a production company, which is very exciting, but I've been in that situation a few times, and more often than not, it doesn't lead anywhere. So don't get too excited. It's not like it's going to be on TV soon. I don't know if people know much about this, but essentially what happens is if you have a spec script or a treatment or an idea and you go to a production company and they like it, they'll option it, and that usually lasts about a year. And then they'll shop that around. They'll develop the script with you. And if people bite, then it gets developed and maybe it'll make a pilot, but you might not even get that far. It's a very long process. Who knows what's going to happen, but I love the idea. I'm not going to tell you anything about it yet, but it's sort of flirting with sci-fi. The concept is a little bit strange, but the core of it is about human connection. I think it's going to be really good. I hope that you one day get to see it. You in a relationship? If so, well done. I hope life's going swell for you. Well, thank you for the clickbait. I don't kiss and tell. Top 3 ugly crying movies. Not in any particular order, but Call Me By Your Name, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. All 3 of those films just get me. There's more as well. I'm a real film crier. I love a film cry. How do you make the perfect sandwich? Bread type, fillings, temperature. Now we're on to the good stuff. I've been obsessed. And obsessed is the word, and anybody who knows me knows that this is an obsession. I have been obsessed with Warburton's Thins. They're just the perfect shape for sandwiches, and it keeps it all contained and compact. None of it falls out the edges. They toast really beautifully. What I do is I have a Warburton Thin, slice of cheese, chop up some spring onion, lettuce, cucumber, tomato, Warburton Thin. Perfect sandwich. What camera are you using for vlogs, and is there a difference when making music videos or sketches? So I'm just using a 70D. I've got a few, what are the lenses called? They're called Samyang lenses, and I've got a box of them because they sent me them for the Amazon Music show. So I've got a bunch of cool lenses to use that I've been exploiting as much as possible. And I just try and light and frame things nicely so that it creates more of a cinematic effect. But I'm just using a standard DSLR that I've had for years. It's so much different when we're making Jack and Dean sketches or music videos. My friend Kieran, who's my DOP and has been for life, at the moment he has got a Sony Venice, and if that means something to you, you've probably just done this. And if it doesn't mean anything to you, it's a big, nice, fancy camera, and I think they're using it to shoot the new Avatar movies on it. So both the music videos that I directed recently were shot on that. The Domino's Pizza ad that we did, those projects I try and treat as professionally as possible because it's an opportunity to go, look what I made, look what I can do. What glasses do you have? I love them. Well, you can't have them. What are your thoughts on Garfield and Maguire potentially returning in Marvel's 3rd Spider-Man? My butt's very wet. If that happens, I'm going to slide off my chair. It feels like a pipe dream at the moment. It feels like something that everyone believes is just happening, but it hasn't been announced. No one's been cast. There's been nothing like that. I'm trying not to get my hopes up about it. I'd also love if Emma Stone came back to reprise the role of Gwen Stacy from a different universe, and her and Andrew Garfield got a little moment together. Might be a bit weird because they used to date. I saw like a fan edit thing on Instagram where it was like, I couldn't save the Gwen Stacy in my universe. I couldn't save the Peter Parker in my universe. And it's cheesy as all balls. But if that were to happen in the film, floods of tears would happen. Favourite alcoholic beverage. Always says a lot about somebody. Well, I'm not a big drinker, but I love an old-fashioned, or just whiskey on its own, on the rocks. What does that say about me? I'm interested. How did your podcast with Mark Kermode come about? Big love to you, Jack. Big love to you too. So back in 2015, when I was working for Radio 1, I randomly got a DM from Mark Kermode on Twitter. He said that his son was a fan of me and that he wanted to bring him into Radio 1 to meet me so that we could look around and all the rest of it. He basically wanted to seem like a cool dad. That didn't end up happening, but Mark came and did a guest spot on our Radio 1 show, and we immediately hit it off. Like, there was even a moment when Dean was like, guys, the next time that I saw him was in line for the first and only screening for Star Wars The Force Awakens. There was already a queue forming hours before the screening because they weren't assigned seats. It was just come and get the best one, and it was Star Wars. Remember that? Back when people wanted to like Star Wars films? Mark and his son Gabriel are at the front of the queue, and I just hear a voice go, Jack! I turn, and Mark Kermode tells me to cut in line. No one's going to tell Mark Kermode to not do that. We ended up watching Star Wars The Force Awakens together, and that sort of created a trend where we'd see each other at screenings, and then we'd go to the pub afterwards and have a conversation, and eventually Mark said, we should do a podcast together. And I was like, yeah, all right, Mark. And he was like, no, I'm not being facetious. We should do a podcast together. And in October of 2018, we did the first few episodes, and we've been doing it ever since. There's a brand new episode out now. There's a 2-parter where we discuss the work of David Fincher to celebrate the fact that Mank is being released soon. Mark has already seen Mank because he's got I'm the most famous critic in the world privileges, whereas I've got 0 privileges. Can't think of a single privilege I've got. So if you want to listen to that new 2-parter, I will leave a link to that in the description, which quite nicely leads me back to the sponsor for today's video, Surfshark VPN, which allows you to change your location on Netflix so that you can watch different things that are not available in your region. It looks like quite a lot of David Fincher's films are available here in the UK. So if you want to do your homework before you listen to the podcast, you can use Surfshark VPN, change your location to the UK Netflix, and catch up on some David Fincher films. Surfshark are offering you 84% off with 4 extra months for free. Just use the promo code Jack Howard, and I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you for watching this video. I have tried to answer as many of these as possible. That's too many questions for one YouTuber. Surely. Here's an interesting thing I found out recently. Apparently, we scroll the length of Big Ben during a day. That's depressing, isn't it? Big Ben's quite big. If you've enjoyed this style of video, let me know, and I will do them again. It's been really, really fun to chat with you and just take the pressure off. But until next time, get the hell out of my room.